Good morning. Well, it's a little late. I went to bed pretty late. We have some avocados. And you know what I love? Is grits. I'm crazy. I love southern food. I love my grits. And if you make it right, it doesn't taste like sand. For coffee, I like dark roast. And I tell people this all the time. What I do is I'll wash out eggshells and dry them out, and then you crush them up, put them in your coffee filter, and then put your grinds in, because what it does is it helps neutralize the acid, so it's a little easier on your stomach, because in my age, my stomach's a little sensitive, and but I love my coffee. Dave's Killer Bread. This bread's amazing. This guy used to be a convict. He was in prison for a while, and he kind of redeemed himself a lot by when he got out. He made his own bread and sold it, and now the guy, look at him. Where there's a Dave, there's good. Hi, Mr. Figaro. What do you smell? Went to Job Lots, got some canned stuff, blank beans, gnocchis. Love these. Some rice, clam chowder, sardines, man, $1. Delicious, good for you. And I figured it'd be a good time to start growing some things as well. I figure I'll go to the office soon, huh? I'll show you guys what we do every day. Come here. We do this every day. Yeah, every day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every day we do this, huh, Figaro? Mm-hmm. I gotta shave later. I hate beards and I hate shaving, so I'm in this weird predicament. Alright, today's March 17th, Tuesday, and I'm gonna do another video later. I wanted to do a morning one after I was done with Figaro there. You like that? What do I want to talk about? I think the virus itself, because like many others, I didn't take it as serious as it is. In hindsight, now that I look at it, I think we were all a bit skeptical. And I think the problem with that is there is so much information that now when I watch videos from actual doctors and scientists working on it, and we understand it better, how the real threat is the virus on people mostly with underlying health conditions, older people, especially breathing. It really attacks the lungs. And so even though someone like me or other relatively healthy people get it, we would most likely be fine. But the problem is if it infects other people who are not as healthy, that's the danger. So the sacrifice we're all kind of doing now is for them, and their lives are worth that to me. The media is another thing where, because we don't have journalism anymore, we sort of have breaking news and the sensationalization of it. And it's not fake news in that regard. It's more, it clouded a lot of the information that was out there. And that's what started in hindsight, I think, to this whole virus outbreak, where the news would come on and say, okay, 10 more cases. But they weren't really explaining and being informative what actual journalism is. And there's a severe lack of that. And there's a fine line we're going to see, I think, between we have to balance about taking this seriously but not panicking. And the people, just because you're panicking and freaking out about something doesn't mean you know more or you're more important. you can be very calm and rational and take a threat just as serious as someone who's flailing and freaking out. To me, fear never helps you. You don't ever profit from fear. Fear and danger are two different things. You take, for example, two individuals, say they're stranded in the Alaskan wilderness. One starts freaking out, the other one sits down and starts having a calm, rational mind. They're both in the same danger, but one of them is going to do a lot of mistakes, and the other one has a better chance of survival. It doesn't mean the calm person doesn't take their situation less serious. It's just going forward whenever faced with challenges and dangers, have a calm, rational mind, and you'll get through it. We've kind of forgotten how to survive in the sense of basic necessities. When I was just at the store, and I've seen this across the country, where people are buying up toilet paper, which to me, if you're in a survival situation or a real crisis, toilet paper is not a necessity. You're going to have bigger problems. You can't eat toilet paper. You're not going to die if your ass isn't clean. There's other ways to wipe it, and so whatnot. But I've seen at the grocery store people grabbing things that go bad quickly, or it's just junk food stuff, and there's all these canned items that you want, and people don't. I think we have to learn a few things now. One, to be humble about, okay, get some food you might not really like, but we don't know what's gonna happen a week or two or a month from now. It's better to have it and then give it away to someone, give it to a food drive later. So be humble, just appreciate the things we have, because that goes to number two, where we've had things way too comfortable, I think, for many years in the Western world, and you kind of saw that on social media. You see it where when people are kind of looking for things to complain about, and social media kind of got to a point where it's like, okay, what are people gonna bitch about today? And I'm guilty of that as anyone else, but this has definitely thrown us outside of our comfort zone, and I think that's actually a good thing. The universe has a way of balancing that out. You don't know how strong you are until that's your only choice sometimes. I remember reading the autobiography of Teddy Roosevelt, he was born with a lot of underlying health conditions. He had asthma, and his father told him at a young age, he's like, son, you're gonna have to fight. And that's when Teddy Roosevelt, in his young teenage years, he started to exercise, he started to build his body up, and I think it's not your fault certain things happen to you, or you're born one way or other. But fault and responsibility are two different things. And I've learned that with things like when I've struggled with depression. It kind of got to a point where I could sit on a couch and play video games and be miserable, and chances are tomorrow I would feel the exact same way. Nothing would change. So for news, I get my information mostly now just from NPR, the BBC. I'll put down in the comments a great link to Johns Hopkins University. They have a real-time website with data on live updates. You can kind of see where the virus is and how it's starting to slow down. But also you'll see how, in other countries, especially Italy, my heart breaks for them. They're hit really bad by this, and I think a lot of us feel helpless. So the last thing I want to end this with this morning, I'll post another video later, but it's a time to really put our values in compassion and empathy, and to learn how to do that again, to not be greedy, and to reach out, to share things with other people, to talk with other people, and to appreciate life. And that's it. I'll see you guys later tonight.